Hello, my name is Jasmine Davis, and today we'll go over Uber Eats in the United Kingdom global market. A quick overview. Some things we're going to discuss is the global brand statistics and put it into context. Some factors such as microenvironmental marketing and macro environmental marketing. I'll go over each one, examples, and what they actually mean. So some statistics. I think numbers are really important. It likes to pretty much paint a picture of what's going on. So I like to provide a timeline from when Uber Eats first started in the UK to now. So in 2016, when they first opened up a sector in the UK, they roughly generated $80 million in sales with 223 employees. For London in particular, the main hub, it was $64 million with 155 employees. I want to fast forward the timeline to 2020 because it was a huge change. It went from 80 million to 360 million in the United Kingdom. So it shows that there is a demand for Uber Eats and that it is increasing. Next, we have 2020-22, where it's $11 million globally. So not just in the United Kingdom, but other countries as well, which shows that there's a need and demand for Uber Eats and that they can tap into a lot of other countries and other different markets as well. So some factors when it comes to having a global brand in the United Kingdom, such as Uber Eats. The first one would be micro-environmental marketing. So pretty much what that means is the ability to have an effect on one company. And in this case, it's just we're focusing on the UK market right now, not so much other countries. There's two subsections of micro-environmental marketing, such as actors, which is the first one. It's pretty much the people aspect that's driving that company. So the first one would be competitors. In the UK, they primarily have a service called Delivery Hero. It has a domination there, so it could drive how Uber Eats will perform in the UK. Then you also have customers. So you have to keep in mind there's a different demographic. People in UK, as far as age, sex, nationality, and that kind of stuff, in comparison to the United States. So that might drive how the Uber Eats will perform in that market. And then you have forces. Forces is not so much the people, but actually the situation of the company that's driving it. So the competitors. So Uber Eats is number 2 in the UK. Delivery Hero is number 1. It's going to take a lot of effort to surpass Delivery Hero because it's already been more established and that's what people are more familiar with. And then you also have the changes of behaviors by customers. So an example of that would be COVID. When COVID first took place, no one could really go out to eat. So in exchange, or they had to pretty much do delivery or takeout, which increases sales for Uber Eats. So those are some examples of micro-environmental marketing. Next, we have macro environmental marketing. So this is the ability to have an effect on many companies, not just one. So in this case, like on a global scale, not just the UK and the US. So some factors would be, the first one would be actors, so people driven, technology development. Uber itself disrupted the transportation industry. They did the exact same thing with the food industry. Prior to this, you would just have to go to a restaurant, call them, or go online to their website to do delivery. Versus now you have an app, you can go through all these restaurants, all these options. It's more customizable to the customer, which gives them more inclined to use Uber Eats. And then next you have the culture society. I feel like Uber Eats have changed the culture. We don't say, do you want delivery? It's like, hey, what do you want Uber Eats? Kind of like the Google thing. We don't say, I'm going to search for this. We say, I'm going to Google it. So it definitely had an impact on how we view delivery service. And then we have forces. So forces, like I said, it's the situation that's driving that company. On globalization, going back to that first slide, like I said, went from 80 million to what, $11 billion, or excuse me, 360 million. So it shows there is increase, it shows there is a demand, and it just shows that the potential of how many untapped countries they can get into. Last but not least, we do have media. Uber Eats have a phenomenal marketing tactic where they go to influencers who advertise their products, and it makes it more personal to the customer, so they're more inclined to buy. All right, in summary, Uber Eats' presence has increased as a debut in the United Kingdom, which shows there's a room for growth in other global countries for that delivery service. So it started in 2016, but I only feel like we hit the tip of the iceberg. I'm curious to see what Uber Eats does 10 years from now on a global scale. Once again, my name is Jasmine Davis. Thank you for listening to my slide, and you have a great day.